In this video I'm going to be showing the Tokyo Offroad BLS starter kit, which can be used to start and run KTM and Husqvarna TPI 2-strokes even if the battery is totally dead or removed. Here you can see the Tokyo Offroad BLS Capacitor Kit. BLS stands for batteryless starter, and the capacitor assembly consists of the capacitor connected via two wires to the battery. So the red wire goes to the positive terminal of the battery, the black goes to the ground. The terminals used are 6mm, which is standard on any KTM Husqvarna off-road bike. The capacitor itself is 50 volt, 105 degrees C rated, and it's dipped, so it's weatherproof. Also included in the kit is a zip tie to secure the capacitor. Here you can see I've installed the BLS capacitor in the airbox of my 2019 KTM 250 TPI, and there's a very convenient location here where you can run a zip tie through this plastic bit behind the capacitor and hold it secure, and then the wires just run up underneath the seat to the battery. In 2020 models there's a wiring and connector harness shown here which you could secure the capacitor to using the zip tie. And under the seat you can see the connections to the battery. So the red wire goes to the positive terminal on the battery and the black goes to the ground. When installing the wires you want to make sure they're not rubbing on anything, and also that when you're removing the battery connections you want to make sure you don't short the positive out to the chassis. So if you're using a wrench or something, make sure the wrench doesn't hit the chassis connection. It's a good idea to remove the ground first, so that even if you do short the positive to the chassis, it doesn't result in a short circuit. You might think it's quite unusual to get a completely dead battery while out riding. I did a race a few months ago, and my starter switch became stuck on. And before I was able to disconnect it, the battery completely drained and went completely dead. With the lithium batteries, one issue can be that if you get below a certain voltage, the battery will actually shut off and become unusable. So in the race I was on a carb bike, so I was able to continue by kick-starting the bike. But if I was on a TPI and the same thing happened, my race would have been over. Okay, so to demonstrate that the BLS capacitor will start the bike without the battery, I've completely disconnected the battery here and made my connections away from the battery. And next I'm going to try kick-starting it. So you can see it starts and runs with no battery with the BLS capacitor. If you have a 2020 model, I know they don't come with kickstarters, so you might want to consider adding a Kickstarter kit. I know KTM Husqvarna have a kit available. Or if you don't want to add the Kickstarter, but do want that insurance against a DNF or being stranded somewhere, you can bump start it or hill start it, and the engine will continue to run normally.